neighbors to give back, get involved, and come together while creating a sense of pride for the city they all share. Contact a community organization today and discover the contribution
call it to order. Debbie, would you call, Jim, would you lead us in a short invocation?
Short.
Now let's stand. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and giving us all health to be strong, Heavenly Father, and we pray that we will do right and take care of our business and bless Durant. Give us many more money to have sales tax in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Debbie, would you call the roll?
Yes, sir. Trustee Anthony here. Trustee Calhoun. Trustee Reed.
Here.
Trustee Shattuck.
Here.
Trustee Thorpe.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Walker. Chairman Shear.
Here. Okay.
Just a note to the roll call, that is Scott Dewald has been sworn in and placed
Okay.
To replace,
Cole.
Okay.
Cole.
You know who he is.
Of course.
Okay, the first item is consider approval of minutes of the November 29th, 2022 meeting. Any discussion?
I make a motion, we approve.
Second.
Debbie?
Trustee Anthony, yes. Trustee Reed.
Yes.
Trustee Shattuck.
Yes.
Trustee Thorpe.
Yes.
Chairman Shear.
Yes. Financial reports. Jeff?
We'll look very short, brief this week, this month. We'll look at page 4. The main number on that is claim on pooled cash at the very top, $812,213.56. That is basically what we have to work with going forward. So that is a good number. And if you go to the next page, page 5, you'll look at our revenues for the last several years, but particularly by month. You'll see January of 23 is about 4,500 more than January of 22, so it's very good. Not probably, we'd like it a little higher than that, but we'll take it right now. It's good. Last couple of months have been trending good compared to last year, so that's it.
Thank you, Jeff.
On this right here, on the legal fees, are we doing that by meeting, or how are we doing that?
We're doing that by his invoicing, and he does it by the hour. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Can we get it on this? Can we start getting a printout of what it is every month, itemized?
We can include
I
a,
don't turn in invoices every month.
Do what?
I don't turn in invoices every month. It's more like once a quarter.
yeah.
But
But you can turn in how many hours?
my invoices are laid out hourly. Y'all are the only client that I track my hours for.
We want you to do good. We don't even want you to do real good off of it.
We could easily include the invoice in with the packet
Thank you.
if we need to do that.
Okay, bring us to discussion of the 6975 median lawn maintenance contract with the city of Durant.
I was notified to come. That's where I'm going to start out with. So we have bought the Gator mower and the bagger that comes with the mower, and we finally got those in. It took way too long to get them because, one, we only get $8,000 from you guys every month, so we had to wait until it got to the point where we can order them, and then it just took forever and a day for it to actually get into the lot to get to us. Now that we have it, we're good there. We also have had, since you guys signed the contract, or we signed the contract August, July of last year, I forgot when, We've had the post up for a full-time person, have not had one hired. We will get applicants. I suggest that we do an interview. They either don't show up for the interview, or they don't pass the background check. So that's where we're at on getting an actual full-time person out there. Since we did the contract, I've had my parks crew, which is short-staffed by 2, work out there, and they spend 2 or 3 days mowing it every week and cleaning up trash. And I have my part-time person going out there almost every day, picking up trash. And the trash thing is almost the full-time job, period. It's even with us getting all 4 guys out there 2 or 3 days, 8 hours, you're cutting it for time with you want weed eating and all that. And then with the ryegrass since there's no established irrigation system, we can't put ryegrass without killing all the grass. Because you had to, once in August, you'll have to scalp the existing Bermuda and overseed it. And if you overseed and you don't get enough water, it will kill just everything. So I went with, I'd rather the Bermuda stay well, and we're going to be spraying this month, hopefully, if weather ever cooperates with us. We'll be spraying and getting where it's real thick, but in the winter we probably won't be able to get ryegrass unless we put irrigation system in there.
And they brought that up, but you know what? There's some days or some years, just like this last year, you put ryegrass out. I put that around my house before. Never had to water it one time. This year, if you put ryegrass out, you wouldn't have any problem with the water at all.
But it's hard to predict when that's going to be, and if you're killing it in August, I can't really predict when you're supposed to cut for Bermuda. Right then, we were in the middle of a drought. So I wasn't going to kill something when it's in the middle of drought already.
And there was one time about a month and a half ago, that it was left undone for about a week. I even had a city councilman said, why aren't this getting cleaned up? Trash all the way down the middle of it.
Yep. Like I said, we've been trying to get with all the other projects we got going on, finding time to split my 4 guys that I have in parks between all the parks and this. It's
And with the winds we've had, it's hard to just keep our hotel parking lot
like
filling
with
for an
my part-timer, he gets in that gator, he loads up a trash can, and he'll do one section roughly a day. And by the time he gets done with that section, you see trash at the beginning already start forming because.
See, I'm not seeing that many people, and I pass by that thing 3 or 4 times a day.
He works in the afternoon, I know for sure.
I'm telling you, for what y'all are getting $100,000 in the last 3 or 4 months, boy, I ain't seen much for, that much money, picking up a little bit of trash, no mowing for 3 or 4 or 5 months. I mean, y'all are getting a heck of a deal.
Ryan, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you feel like that this is too much for the staff that you have?
Currently with the staff that we have, it is a lot because the guy that's part-time also is in charge of cleaning bathrooms and stuff while in the shift too. So he might only be able to do 2 hours depending on how trashed the bathrooms are when he goes to do those first. So.
And you can't hire, you're not having.
I've had maybe 5 applicants in the past month.
Internet and all that, and not getting anything.
In the past, since we started this contract, I've hired 2 people. One he was better suited in a different area. The other one, he's lasted a month and then quit. Since then, I haven't been able to hire anyone. I haven't had any interviews, or I've had interviews, but like I said, they don't either pass the background check or they don't even show up for the interview.
Get back to her question.
Ryan,
Overwhelming for y'all?
It's trying to juggle all the projects that we have going on, plus this unity statute, it is a lot.
in the contract, there is a termination clause that says that either party can give 30-day notice, I believe. And with that, do you feel that you can move forward with this, or do you think this is something that at this time you would like
When
to?
you're answering, I like to have the city manager to, answer to, after you get through.
With the current manpower I have, it would be taxing, especially during summer season when it's coming up and I'm mowing everything else I'm supposed to mow, plus doing this. We spend roughly 3 days a week mowing all the other parks in other city areas, and some of it we have to do every other week just because we can't get to it.
But you're going to have to mow it some this sometime, whether or not.
If we didn't have this contract, that area is already taken care of by the contract mowing from coast to coast. So that highway would be covered by coast to coast, which we already pay for, but we wouldn't have, my guys would still be able to focus on the parks, the other city grounds.
So you're saying maybe coast to coast could take care of the wintertime too, right, since there's mowing?
They possibly could, yes.
I,
Can
Jason,
we get you to
uh,
speak on this a little bit?
on the contract, what would we need to do if he feels like that he can't go forward with that?
Well, the cancellation clause is 60 days, but, I mean, if we agreed, then you can do it quicker than that.
Well, I just want to hear what you think about this.
I just stepped in here, so I didn't hear the first part of what I haven't even looked at the agenda, sir.
And putting ryegrass down, and if y'all think that you can, take care of this contract or.
What's the agenda item?
The agenda item was discuss and consider 6975 lawn maintenance contract with City of Durant.
Okay, so what is your question of me, sir?
He's saying it's hard to get enough help to do that, even in the wintertime.
Sir, we've got a hard time hiring, we have a hard time hiring every position. I can tell you M&O, we need 4 people right now today. We can't get people to show up for interviews. We hire people, we can't get them to show up for the first day of work. If they show up the first day,
We both
the
understand what you're saying.
first time somebody comes along and offers them more money, they are out the door. We have a hard time hiring for specific positions such as parks because it is safety sensitive. You know, our issue with hiring employees with safety sensitive positions. So, and it's across the board.
Do you think you can do this in the future? Because last 3 or 4 months not mowing, picking up some trash, that's a heck of a bunch of money to be kicking out, not looking any better than that. Do you think you can fulfill this contract?
Are we
in the
talking
future?
about that one strip in front of the hotel there, in front of your hotel? Is that what we're talking about?
The mill, yeah.
Okay.
The contract, I think,
And the half clover.
Ryan, Ryan.
So it's
Please correct
picking
me
up
if I'm
trash
wrong.
right now because the mowing obviously is not happening with the ice and the rain, correct? So we're talking about picking up trash? Yes,
Yeah.
in that strip?
Well, we wanted mowing, we wanted ryegrass too. We wanted it to look nice coming in, and apparently we didn't get enough equipment in time. We
Well,
just
the
think
thing-
that if we have ryegrass down, you can
Right.
go buy a truck off the casino, you can go buy any place, you can go buy houses in Durant. And when they look like that, boy, it's a classy look.
Okay.
And when-
Oh, I agree, sir, but when you're talking about planting ryegrass, it's my understanding when you plant ryegrass, it has to be done within a specific time frame, and you have to have irrigation. I don't know if $100,000 is gonna be enough to run irrigation, bore the road and run irrigation to that center strip where you're talking about.
Do you
That's,
need more?
I would think you would have to go out for bids to do a sprinkler system or irrigation system, but what I'm saying is, it's gonna be more than $100,000 for an
He's
irrigation.
saying, and he doesn't believe if there's water out there, but I'm being told, even on the east side, there's water out there now.
I never said that there's not water out there. There's not a current irrigation system.
Sure.
But there's a water line through there, but
Yes,
there's
it
not a current irrigation system, and that's the issue, is we would have to get a whole new irrigation system put in,
Sure.
and that's where
But
the
you do
big
know
cost
there's
would
water
be.
out there.
I mean, I know there's a spigot that's out, I don't know if it works, but I know there's a water spigot, and just getting the manpower to move a sprinkler would be astronomical.
I think
Either that or
the,
we could get it contracted out, and you wouldn't have to do it.
I think one of the main questions is probably staffing and manpower to actually be able to meet the terms of the contract. And, you know, we can put this out to bid for an individual company, If you feel like that this is just too much, I think that maybe we just need to sit down and start
If you need
looking
more, and if you need another month to think about it, y'all.
I think if we could
people, and so it's not like we gotta make the decision today.
Right. I think if we could sit down and have a conversation and negotiate something, we could see what terms need to be, or whether we need to just part ways and go out, you all go out for bids and somebody else do it. But I think that there's a lot more to be discussed than just
Sure.
sit.
So you'd like to discuss it, some and come back next meeting?
I think
Yeah.
that's,
I think it's great.
yeah.
See, that's why you came up here. You got some good ideas.
Well, I apologize. I was in another meeting and I just happened to step in. I wasn't even aware what you were talking about.
Jason,
so.
do we just need to table this one?
Yes.
Well, you can table it or no action. If you table it, we've got to bring it back up every
Okay.
If no action, it can die, and you can add it back
Thank
whenever
you.
you want.
Okay.
Okay, we'll make it number 3, no action. Number 4 is Southeastern Safety Olympics, a $2,000 partnership.
They are, Mark Webb called, and they are having the Southeastern Safety Olympics. There will be 8 teams, and each one of those teams will have 8 members and 2 sponsors on them. What they would like for Discover Durant to do is to be a partner with them, but to fix baskets for each one of the teams as they come in, water, snacks, things like that. And will it cost $2,000? I have no idea. I don't think that it will. But we had to have a dollar amount that we could march forward with just in case.
So does this just bring in children here, or?
These are not children. These are college athletes. They're college students that are in their program, their safety programs.
And that's for
Yes.
just in
No,
Brown County?
no. This is collegiate, and OSU will be here. The several other larger universities will be attending as well. They have no idea, how many will be coming with them for this. The event itself will be held on campus.
Be one day.
No, they're staying overnight in the hotels, and I'm not sure where they've got those blocked, but they are all in Durant.
And when is this coming up?
This will be, I apologize, I thought that date was on there, March, I believe.
I didn't have a
I
date
think
for
it's
March
March.
on that one, yeah.
I think it's March 27th, 28th, and 29th. I don't even have my phone with me to see what those dates are, but that,
It was at the end of March, though, yeah.
yeah, it was at the end of March.
Will the Chamber of Commerce will helping out too, or
Helping out as in,
at the, field? Do y'all do anything?
they haven't asked us, but if they ask us, we'll be there. We'll definitely be there to take pictures.
I make a motion that we approve
Second
2,000.
Okay, Debbie, call the roll.
Trustee Anthony, yes. Trustee Reed?
Yes,
Trustee Shattuck?
Yes.
Trustee Thorpe?
it? Yes.
Chairman Shear?
Yes. Number 5, the Discover Durant signage on Highway 70 West Main Street. Discussion to remove.
and that's the beginning and the end of the discussion. We want that sign taken down because it is not. A couple of city managers ago, I don't know how to put this, but they convinced us that those were the type of signs that we needed. It's not informational. It's not recognizable. You cannot see it. It's not effective. And we would like permission to just take it down because it's becoming a tool. We've still got Christmas signs on it right now because there's nothing else to put on it. I think the event signage is a good thing. That sign is just not working.
So you can't light it up? You got solar?
I don't think that you could light that one up to where it would be seen, Jim.
Is this one in the median?
Yeah,
and
it's the one by Radio Road and
okay,
Main.
Yeah, it's too small.
It's too small.
Yeah.
And that is the understanding, that's the legal limit of the height and the width that we can put in that particular spot.
So why can't we just wait and leave it and put home of 1,000 magnolias or something like that, decorate it up. Make it to where when they come in, they'll know if it's something or got away in latex home or whatever.
We've got another proposition that I think is on the next
Yeah,
line.
one more down on the, look one more down on the agenda.
So y'all can't put anything on that sign without tearing it up and tucking it out?
Well, physically, we can't, no. Could we contract with, that Sign Depot is the one that had the original contract to build that for us. Could we do that? I'm sure we could, but I feel like that we are just, personally, I feel like we are wasting money and putting money into something that, kind of like putting lipstick on a pig. It just,
We couldn't put anything.
it just
about the city
can't
of
work.
Durant?
We want to have signage. We just want to make sure that it can be seen and that we're not wasting basically our money and those people that are purchasing those magnetic signs to go on there.
What I'm saying is, just, all you gotta do is put a sign over, just one sign and leave it, and say, the home of the biggest peanut in the world. I mean, make it big where you can see that.
Or we could
The
get
thing
you
is
to
not
wear the
the-
Petey the Peanut costume and stand out there.
I agree with that one.
I think we need to get that done.
If you would do it half, the first half, I'll do the second half. How's that?
That wasn't the deal. I said you, Jim.
What were you gonna say?
The issue is not lighting the sign, the issue is the modality of what we're trying to market. Like that type of signage doesn't resonate with traffic on that road because we're not a directional sign, we're not a restaurant sign, we're not a hotel sign. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if you light it up or put Christmas lights or anything on it. It's not a receptive messaging, and that's what in our next agenda item, we are trying to correct that and actually get something that will resonate with passersby and people driving through this area a lot better.
Tell you what, I've seen you out there, you do a good job putting it up and taking it down.
Well, that's the problem. We got to go with Sign Depot for that, and like that's the frequency of getting that in and out there. It has become more, and that's the thing. Again, not to foreshadow, but our next bullet item gives us a lot more effective and up-to-date ways to keep those signs
Me
routine,
personally,
like
I like to
switched out.
table this for about a month and some of us think about it and maybe we can come up with an idea. If not, then let it go.
Well, we have idea on the next agenda.
I was gonna say,
item,
yeah.
You already got the idea.
Got it.
I know. Okay.
We're gonna table it, or are we going to,
No action.
no action? No action?
No, I think we need to have action sometime, so let's table it if somebody's really gonna look at this,
Sure.
then let's table it, but if not, just take the sign down.
I personally don't think the sign's effective.
I don't know, I can't even picture it at the moment, so.
Yeah, I'm sure you
I
drove.
think that
I'm sure you
answers
drove
the
past it.
question.
The whole point.
I think that answers the question.
And that's pretty
That's
good.
the whole point.
Point well made.
But just to be, this is the one that's like in the median at
Yeah.
Yeah.
Main Street and Rodeo Road.
That's,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
Okay.
that's where it is.
So,
All right, we table this, I want somebody to look at this. Jim, you're looking at it.
I'll look at it.
All right.
Yes, sir. So we'll table it and I'll look.
okay, we're gonna table number 5.
I'll try to come out and get some people out and see what I can do.
Would it help the board if we actually, because this was not based on just an opinion, like we actually have statistical data from marketing. Would you like us to prepare some of that for next month's meeting to let you know just how ineffective that messaging is from a statistical? Sure. That's where we came about to putting this on there. It wasn't just, we think the signage is old. We're looking at the data, and the data is saying that this is not an effective means of messaging in this traffic pattern that you're currently seeing. That's where we made the decision for this suggestion.
That's good.
And to Jeff's point, we had people that did not know where that was. We asked them, we did a personal survey to see, would you like to advertise? They don't even know where the signage is. If you don't know where the signage is, then it's not effective marketing. So, yeah.
How much is it per panel,
It's costing $200 roughly to do both sides, $100 for each side of the magnet. No, not per year. That's when you change those magnets out. There's 5 spots right now, so we've got $1,000 invested, or whomever has purchased each one of those has got their investment in those signs. And they're only good for the event.
$100 per panel?
$100 per side. You have to have two. If you want the same magnet on both sides, which that's what we agreed to do, it's $100 for each one of those.
Per month? Or for 6 months, or 2 months?
It depends on when it's per event.
Utilities change.
Yeah, it's per event.
I've already got a couple ideas. I'll find some next month.
I can tell you how many inquiries we've had in the last year.
Yep.
0. Like, that's not something people are wanting to pay to advertise, again, just because it's not an effective means of.
You might be surprised next month. I've already got one idea.
Number 6, discussion of beautification and landscaping project for 6975 Cloverleaf exit.
What we are proposing is that that sign is taken down, and I think everyone remembers where the sailboats were, that we look at replacing that with a digital sign that if there is not electricity there, and I'm not for sure, do you know if there is electric there or not, Ryan?
I know that there's power running out there. I don't know if the outlets or anything currently works. So I've never tried it, I've never tested it, but I know there are outlet and junction boxes out there.
I bet we could have Mr. OG&E do that for us.
I wasn't going to throw anyone under the bus.
But after looking at several different marketing plans, one of the things that we were looking at was trying to do something that's very attractive, whether it be limestone, whether it be a brick, whether it be stone, but to put the sign on both sides of that clover leaf that's ran digitally so that those events can be monitored and put up. If we want to charge a fee for those, that's fine, but I think they're both going to be exposed to where people coming into the city and leaving the city both will have a clear view. And if we don't have events, we can put "Welcome to Durant"
I love
or
that
"Discover
idea.
Durant."
Like in front of the
That's
birds.
gonna be on the clover leaf instead of in the middle of the.
Yes, it would be on the
Right
clover
in
leaf.
the middle of the clover leaf?
We're
Yeah.
proposing that we get one for each clover leaf, about in the same area that the
So you're gonna light it
sailboats
up,
were.
right? You're gonna light it up?
It'd have to be lit up. It's digital.
Now, each clover leaf, you talking about the one to the north too?
No, right now, we're just talking about the two the two incoming to the city that are on Main Street, the exit and the entrance both.
Like the Burges have in front of their law firm in their
Yes.
brick.
Yes.
I like that idea.
My very limited knowledge of digital signs, the ones that are big and effective are very expensive. And
I don't think it's going to be, but
It's a good idea, but I really don't want to approve it right now. I want a drawing made.
well, we can't approve it because we have to get cost associated with it. But we have to have permission to go out and do that. Otherwise, we're wasting our time if we,
But it's saying discuss and approve it here.
that's to bring plans to the committee,
Yes. And that's what-
to the trust.
well, I'm in favor of us exploring and checking this out. See what someone could come up
What the
with.
cost and all that.
Cost and,
Electricity.
I would propose then that we table item number 7, or 5, I'm sorry.
No.
6.
6.
I'm on the wrong one.
No,
6.
Yeah, 6.
no, I mean, I think we ought to give you the okay to go out and, get proposals.
I think by tabling it, we will have to list it on the next agenda, and that will give us some time to get some figures and costs put together for that.
If you can, some kind of drawing to show
Yeah.
what's going on. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just shotgun, it's not good, so.
Okay. We'll table number 6. We want to talk about the peanut time capsule
I'm going to let
marketing.
Jeremy talk about this one.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you guys for having me, as always. So what we're looking for here is actually just an allocation of budget. We're not asking for any more money. We're just taking a portion of our promotions and advertising budget and allocating $15,000 additionally for Peanut Time Capsule. We had done this about 6 months ago going into the fall, and we've expended all but about $4,000 of that, and we're getting ready to order for travel shows. That will well exceed that. That is remaining. So we're just asking to add $15,000 more allocated budget for Peanut Time Capsule marketing and promotional activities over the next 6 months until we get to June.
You might explain that that next order of peanuts is going to be $5,000.
That's just it. Yeah, the next order we've got one order for travel shows coming up where we're restocking 3,000 of the peanuts there. That in itself is going to be 5,300 and change. So that'll more than cover or more than eat up what we have remaining. So we need to.
Where's all that 15,000 going for that time capsule?
So right now, 5,000 of that is roughly going to 2 travel shows that we have, plus the number of events that we have for our Peanut Time Capsule planning committee. The other remaining part of that will be in getting promotional items set up. We've got like fans ordered commemorative cups that we'll be handing out, full of peanuts, T-shirts, signage.
His costume.
Oh, Petey, yes, Petey in his costume. We've got an official mascot costume. So it'll be around our planned events with our Peanut Time Capsule Committee and promotional collateral materials for those items.
How many more sponsors is in this? Are we the only sponsor of this?
Right now we are, yeah.
Nobody else wants to do it?
Nobody else is in charge of the Discover Durant tourism management. Nobody else is in task with doing that.
So nobody else is putting any money in this time capsule marketing?
Not to my knowledge.
Who would it be if you wanted somebody to be involved?
Now, how's that going to benefit?
It's going to bring a lot of people to this area to celebrate a celebration 50 years in the making, as we've been saying.
$15,000 is a lot of money, you know that?
Well, 5,000 of that is going to one collateral piece of material. That leaves us roughly $10,000 for 6 months of purchasing collateral materials and event items to hand out to the community that attend those events.
So you spend a lot of time with this?
Yes, sir.
I make a motion that we pass the approval of the Peanut Time Capsule marketing and promotions budget for $15,000.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay.
Trustee Anthony, yes. Trustee Reed?
Yes.
Trustee Shattuck?
Yep.
Trustee Thorpe?
Yes.
Chairman Scheer?
Yes. Number 8, the
Jeremy,
20.
take this one too.
All right, now this will be a fun one here. Just take it easy on me, all right? Do you see that extra 0 in that next number?
Hmm?
Do you see that extra 0 in that next number?
Yes, I did. And when you want that, me personally, when you do this, I think we're having too many concerts on 6. I think we ought to cut it down to 3 of them, and we ought to bring some big names in here that people are going to stay overnight. Because if you're going to pay in 150, I don't want them coming down here from Ardmore and McAllister and driving back. We got to have some quality people that's going to pull some people in here.
I agree 100%. Could not agree with that sentiment more.
Right.
Part of the reason.
Ellens is still out there, the monkeys.
Well, that really leads us to this point of why we're having this conversation in January. Well, suppose in January, why we're having in February and not June when we traditionally do. By the time we get to June, we're asking for that money. Quality acts already booked. They're not sitting around waiting for what's happening in Durant, So if we have that money now, we have already laid it on the line with our people that we're working with. Like, hey, you got to bring the talent. If we get you the money now, you need to secure the talent for us. So we again could not agree more. We need to have these events and these concerts around things that are going to keep people here and not just drive in for a couple of hours and then go back home. So all aboard on that.
Names that you're looking at right now?
Right now, we are not because of how, listen, and again, too, you can speak to this very clearly as well, Janet, who just attended a concert this weekend. The music industry right now and concert ticket sales and availability it's an artist market. So it's a very volatile, very quick and fast-moving kind of action right now because ticket sales are record high for artists right now. And so the sooner we can get the money, the sooner we can start having those conversations. And I agree with the gentleman we work with, Jason Smith. He's been hesitant to put out any names because he did that last year and it kind of bit him, and so he doesn't want to do that again, and I don't blame him.
And so we're going down to about 3 concerts instead of stretching out to 6 or 7, because all that does is stretch out the money, and you're not going to get as good as artists.
I think what we're focused on is creating a plan that will get as many people here to stay overnight and spend more time and money in our area. Like, however that looks, we will come back to the board with those things, but we need to get the money first to start having any relevant conversations with talent.
Good.
So that's our plan, though.
And I will go ahead and add to this. We had listed this as the fall concert series because that's where the bulk of the money was spent. We have actually been in conversation with trying to do things for special events so that we can be inclusive with building up to maybe a major act that's coming in to the casino resort.
That's right.
That way we're creating events in the downtown area, Cinco de Mayo, Oktoberfest, things that will bring people into the community, that will keep them overnight, that will also help to replenish our lodging taxes.
And just a thought, I know they bring the big headliners in, right?
Yeah.
But there's somebody that's opening the show.
Well, that's exactly where she's going to right there, is that if they're here if people are traveling in town for the big opening act, we parlay that on a Friday night by come on into Durant and check out, like this person, this group. Hey, before you go out there and watch, your favorite 60s group, come check out Mickey Dolenz in Market Square.
Yeah, because if you get an opening act,
Yeah.
not exactly ones they have, but an opening act.
That's like-minded, exactly. So that's what we're talking about, trying to spread that around a little bit and parlay on things that do get more people here for longer periods of time.
You presented it well.
Fill up those shoulder Jim.
You too. And listen, I knew what I had working against me up here when I already had it coming. So
Just
thanks for making me do my homework.
What, 50,000 more than we did last year?
Actually, we had 125,000
125 last year.
but 25 of that went directly to marketing, and we did not use all that.
So I'll
We
make
used
most of
15.
the 2023 fall concert series at $150,000.
I'll second it.
Okay, call the roll.
Trustee Anthony, yes. Trustee Reed?
Yes.
Trustee Shattuck?
Yes.
Trustee Thorpe? Chairman Shear?
Yes. All right, the International Rugby Tournament
And James is here to
discussion.
present for.
And James, Mr. Dry, come on up.
Thank you for your time. Jeff, he couldn't make it. I think he was supposed to meet last week, but the ice storm, so he had to email me because I dealt with him last year and stuff. And anyway, they wanted to bring the rugby back, but with youth. So I think May 6th, and should be 300 to 500 room nights, which I believe he may be a little bit short, but that's just me because we got back from wrestling tournament this weekend, and I know I've talked to Mr. Thor about this, I don't know how many times, but I hate to even know, I didn't look at the checkbook how much we spent this weekend, but we had 2 room nights in downtown Oklahoma City and 4 or 5 meals and stuff. So I think the youth ones, not that the other one was successful. I was out there. They ran a great tournament. That was the first actually rugby tournament that I'd ever been to, the one he brought. I think it was very successful. But when you bring kids, the grandparents travel, mom and dad travels, a lot of people travel. So you're talking about extra rooms other than just adult players and stuff. And I think this leads up to, in the future, because the National Rugby guy was there for the tournament that you guys helped on the last sponsorship or whatever. And he went around Durant, was just amazed at the facility out there. They did a great job with the fields leading up to that last rugby tournament. And they're just blown away that we have this in Durant, and it's a diamond in the rough, is even what he said. And the National Rugby Tournament is usually every year it's in Vegas. And to have an opportunity, if this one's successful, to hopefully bring the National Rugby Tournament to Durant away from Vegas would be huge.
Yeah.
Me and Danny talked to him for about 20 minutes outside after the meeting. And he said out of all the parents that come in for all the sports, there's more money people come in for rugby than anything else. And he was well versed on it, I guess, was new Danny, so, you know, I don't see how you can mess with something like this.
No, I mean, a lot of the rugby coming from the Ivy League schools and things like that, so they have a lot of discretionary cash, and a lot of the ones that were there at the tournament that he had here in Durant were doctors and lawyers, and I mean, it's just a sport that, you know, you gotta have money it's just kind of a prestigious sporting activity, really, and it brings a lot of discretionary cash to Durant, so I think this is.
How much money are we looking at?
10,000.
How much?
10,000.
$10?
It's a grant.
I'm all for that.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Trustee Anthony? Yes. Trustee Calhoun? Oh, I'm sorry. Trustee Reed?
Yes.
Trustee Shattuck?
Yes.
Trustee Thorpe? Chairman Shear?
Yes. Okay.
I'd just like to add before
appropriate?
James
Go
leaves
ahead.
really quickly that he was also so complimentary of Ryan and the Parks and Rec. He said that it was one of the best run tournaments as far as fields and everything that he had had. He was very complimentary.
Yeah, that's why, I mean, I even talk about the fields. I mean, they said in Dallas, where they had them before, the fields are nothing like they were, like we had in Durant. They did an outstanding job. I mean, the fields were immaculate. Even the rugby players that came in from out of state, they were just blown away that how beautiful that it is out there. And anyway, but it's just a great event. And can I add to that? I don't know if it's appropriate to that concert series. Can I just say something real quick?
Sure.
So I really agree, and we were talking. I believe if y'all would do that, and it may cost more than $150,000. I don't know, but entertainment, they're expensive to get some really big entertainment. But I know you're not going to get anything like the casino has. But if you would, you know, even get with Tip and Frank and them, because they book up those casinos usually a year out. A lot of them. Sometimes, you know, they'll catch somebody coming through this part of the United States, and they're able to book an act. But if you have like a concert or a country artist, or if we have a country artist in the fall, like on that Friday, then have a country artist here that's, you know, not a headliner, that builds up to that country. If we have a rock concert, I would look at getting a rock concert the night before, and then I think that puts heads and beds in downtown Durant. So,
Amen.
but I think that's a good point.
Thank you, Jim.
I hope he's not just over rugby, he brings in other.
He's going to bring another one. I mean, he talked about leading into that, which I think is going to be awesome. I think it's 12 to 14 months from now or something. And did he talk to you about that? But about getting the whole park out there to do baseball, softball, stickball tournament all in one weekend, a huge one. So
Multi-sports
Yeah, he's
tournament.
working on something big. There's no iron details just yet because he's trying to piece everything together. He does do other sports, but it's more rugby is his main focus, and then he dabbles in the other stuff. We do have stuff on our end for other sports working. We're getting all of our details ironed out before we bring them to you guys, just for a heads up. We're not going to be asking for money, or at least the city's not going to be asking for money. We're just heads up to start getting the word out. But I know James the May one is the youth. He's going to do that 7v7 July one again, and then another one in August. And the August one is going to be the big international if he wins the bid. That's going to be what we're looking at on as of right now. He hasn't given me any kind of dates or anything for a big tournament like he was saying.
We appreciate you because in the last 5 years we've been here, we've had 2 more before you, and there was nothing done. But you try to do your job well, and you're concerned, and we appreciate it about it.
Thank you.
no, he is, and those fields. I mean, is just what they did for that rugby tournament. I think, you know, going to these, that's how you put heads and beds is youth sports. And I've talked about this for years, and we just need to find somebody to do a wrestling tournament and get the event center, because all these wrestling tournaments, I don't want to get on, I could go on and on about this, but there was 2,000 wrestlers in Oklahoma City this weekend. We go to Stillwater, we've been to Marlow, where there's 600 to 1,000 wrestlers, and these are kids wrestling, and parents are going to follow kids, and they're going to stay in your downtown hotels, and some will stay at the casino, but most of them stay downtown and go to all the restaurants. But it's where it's at.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. All right, we have the grant wrap-up reports for the Choctaw Powwow.
Everything is there for both of the grants. They're included in the packet. And there again, I feel like both of those were monies very well spent. As Jim, you pointed out, yes, they're going to have the Choctaw powwow if we don't help fund it. But just being able to get our brand out there, there was well over 5,500 people in that event center. Huge. Your hotels were booked.
Yes, I had a bunch of people.
Yeah, and that's something that helps the entire community. And for us to be able to put our brand on that, I think it's very important.
Yeah, there were people from all over that came to
They
it.
did better than that, and most people hadn't noticed, and I picked up some at the motel the other day. And they were having events out there this last week or two, and it had nothing to do with powwow, it had to do with cheerleaders. And I've seen that up in Branson before, when I went up there to see a couple shows. They had a big theater, and I'm telling you, when you have cheerleaders in, they fill up the place. And I didn't even know this coming in, but I mean, that cheerleading group, when they have something like that, and they did this time, and it helped us at all the motels. And I think there's cheerleaders and there's some bands involved too.
But both of those are completed, so
Okay.
just
All
wrap
right.
up.
Number 11, approval of accounting and auditing services for the new Dteda bank account and IRS tax filing.
I think that's
status.
probably one that we will have to table until the end. And Chin is out of country right now, and we're working through it with our attorney and the city's attorney to make sure we have a bank account, we have an EIN, everything is ready to go. It's just transitioning it. And we will get some bid. There's very few auditors that are in Durant, and Jason, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but Jason consulted with one of the auditors who I feel like it will be probably our best bet for doing the audit for us. But there again, we've got to find out from Ann exactly, do we have to also have it audited by their auditing firm, or will the audit stand alone from the one auditor that we have to do
Now,
it?
we already have this account, it's already set up, the money's not in there yet.
No, it has not transitioned anything. We've got to,
Talked to Charles the other day, and I'm very concerned. I like the covering of the city on our accounts like it was, but we're getting out on our own, and I don't think anybody else has done that. Maybe the DIA a little bit or whatever. But me personally, when we do this, I want a professional team. When we start auditing, we don't want it anywhere around here. We want somebody that is reputable and certified from Oklahoma City come down here. We don't want to be in a mess where, somebody comes in and audits and it's not right, and then they come back. We need a professional team to come down and audit every year. We haven't had to because we've been underneath the city covering, but we got to take this serious because it's sales tax money.
I believe that both the auditors that have been referred to us do statewide accounting auditing. I know Autumn does, and they're here in Durant. I feel like if we have qualified people to do that, we should at least give them the opportunity.
I'd rather have somebody outside where there's no problem and nobody can say anything. If it's from an outside
Well, if
firm,
they're auditors, I doubt they're gonna do anything. I mean, I guess there have been some, but
it'd still
they have to be
better
pretty
have somebody from outside
trustworthy,
firm.
but.
That way, nobody could say anything.
Like I said, Mr. Chairman, we would like to table this one until at least our next meeting so that we can maybe get some bids and some options.
Okay, let's table number 11. Brings us to informational items. Do we have a report from the Chamber of Commerce activity?
Yeah. All right, last one of the day here, so I'll refer you back to the last page there. And again, very good news. We're kicking off traveling season right now, so we have been on the road distributing and producing lots of events for this coming year. We've got two main events. We've got the 25th anniversary of the Magnolia Festival, so that's an easy one to really get everybody excited about. And we also have the Peanut Time Capsule Unearthing. That's, again, a celebration 50 years in the making. So those have been really our talking points. Again, having Choctaw Casino in our backyard has been a great association to get people identified with where we are geographically. way. And then once they take a few seconds and then they like and see what we have to give here, it's like we get them hooked, you know? They've got a weekend trip ready and planned. So a couple of the numbers there, just to let you know where we are going. We've got a St. Louis show here in just a couple of weeks, which I'm very excited about. It's a women's survival expo, which again, you want somebody who's going to be road tripping and going out on their own and having fun in our neck of the woods. I feel like this is a really good group of people to be around. The very next week, we've got a DFW Expo down in the Metroplex. We always do well there, again, because of proximity. People may not know Durant, but a lot of people know Choctaw Nation. And then the next thing that we have is on our, we've actually got a group. This was a really cool conversation, too, that Janet had by a group out of southern Idaho who is coming through our area to do some event in Richardson and wants to do a day excursion. And so they called Janet. Janet set up the whole itinerary for their group. We've got roughly 50 people coming into town that are going to be spending a day and possibly setting trips. I think this was an RV group, if I'm not mistaken, or they're just a tour group. Sorry, yeah. So again, those sorts of avenues, people are finding us in the right way. We're getting the right contacts and calls from professional tour companies, not only just individuals, but large volume traffic into our area. So again, all of the things are always good to report. And then again, the last part with Choctaw Nation, again, they have got a bevy of entertainment and activities and events that are going out. We've been doing a lot of work with them more recently because they are one of the few organizations that do events. A lot of ours are outdoors, so a lot of our events this time of year do kind of quiet down. So it is nice to have more of their things to bring people into town and give people a reason to travel up here. So.
And underneath that's marketing, we had it on last month, and I've been busy with business deals the last probably 6 months or so, and I hadn't got back. I went up to Shawnee, you knew about that, I talked to you about it. And they have a visitor channel, just like they have in Branson and other places. But I've got the names of it, and if y'all, since you're doing our business for us, I'll give you the names and contacts where you can do it. I think we're missing a big thing where, and Vive already told us they'll do it. Now, I don't know if it's gonna cost $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, but they can make it a visitor channel, and it will show everything that's going out to Choctaws. It will show all the events coming here, and we got a captive audience. When I get in their room and I flip it, and I'm at a place, I look at it maybe 30 minutes an hour, and when I come home at night, I'll flip it on before I go to bed. And if I see something on there the next day or in a month that I want to come back for, I'll do it. We've got a captive audience in all these hotels, and we can start showing all of our events and everything on Choctaws. We want to keep them here.
Yeah.
And when they're sitting in that, you've seen it before too, you know what I'm talking about. And I think we're missing a big thing there. But I'll give you the names, and we'll get this thing set up to where we can have our own visitor channel, and it'll be on all the hotels.
Yeah.
I think it's a great.
That'd be great. I'd love to have a point of contact to chase down.
Well, and to add to that, we're going to have our videos ready to go with the ads that we've got. That would be perfect for that.
Absolutely, yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Good deal.
one mention on the tour that's coming through, they are driving down 75. They're actually going to Galveston is where they're headed. They're going to be stopping at the Cultural Center. They're going to be visiting that and then going down, and then on their way back, they're coming to see the Peanut. So the word is getting out on the Peanut.
That's
they're
cool.
very excited to see our Peanut.
I did talk to.
And all the other nuts.
I did talk to a businessman. I was at a wedding up in Oklahoma City this last week. And out of all of it, I mean, they had quite a few people there. And this guy heard about that biggest peanut in the world in Durant. And he came down here for that, one of the things, but he was amazed that it wasn't, just a big peanut. It was just sort of what? Metal or
Tack,
But
absolutely.
it literally pulled him down to Durant. It literally pulled him down to Durant.
There's several things that we've had with that.
That's it.
Is there any new business?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Any Choctaw?
I second.
Could we find out, who do we have coming in this next month as far as concerts and all that?
I know.
We're still probably lying to you if I told you it's coming. I have no idea, to be honest.
Chris Stapleton?
I know one of them, yeah.
Yeah, Chris Stapleton.
Journey in January, and then we had
Keith Urban.
We had Keith Urban Friday night.
Yeah, Friday and Saturday.
Yeah. One of the things, I was sitting out there, I got to go to the concert on Friday night. He put on the best show I've ever seen,
That's what I've heard.
hands down.
And whoever's over that, is there any way that you could get them to send us maybe 2 months in advance on every one of these?
It's on our website.
Concerts and what you
Oh,
got
yeah,
going
it's
on.
on, it's on.
Yeah,
It's
also-
on our
we
website.
get a
It's on
report.
ours too. I know.
Yeah, we do get a report from a Choctaw Nation tourism representative. If you guys would like us to start putting on the calendar what events are there, we can add that.
It's on our Discover Durant website.
And when
They
are we
have a
having
link.
the dedication for the Choctaw Monument? Anybody know anything about that?
We're working on that. We're trying to get a date with the chief that he's cleared.
I had no news on that one. I wasn't sure what happened after the concrete sort of. Sorry, brother. I didn't mean to throw you out like that, dude. I did not mean to throw you out like that. That's not my intent. That's not my intent.
I know a little bit.
He's like, I am so tired of this meeting.
So we have now done the 10-foot ring around the Unity statue. Now I have made up the plan for the sidewalk to go up to it that meets ADA requirements. So then it iced and rained, and we had to put everything on hold. We can't get it.
Are you gonna have lights on it all night?
We already have the lights. Crawford Electric is supposed to be coming in and hopefully having enough space to bore electrical wires to do lights. I know it's real shallow dirt on one end, but we'll have 4 lights on it, and we'll have
Keep the kids from.
right now, we don't have the money to put a fence on it. We are going to sidewalk, bollard to make sure people don't drive up it, but you pretty much are walking from the city pool parking lot to the statue.
That come out X-Mat. It was more than I envisioned that was gonna do. Whoever designed, put the colors to it and all that.
Yeah, that would be Janie Upstead, and yeah, no, it looks great, and we're trying to get it done. It's just, it seems like every time we get one step closer,
2 steps back.
2 steps back real quick.
I do have, and I haven't asked anybody at the casino, but I know when we're booked out there, do y'all give them a list, or, I mean, our call center where they call the local hotel, or is there specific numbers?
No.
Like, because I know when we sell out, I mean,
Oh, yeah,
I just
we-
hate for us to say, well, we're sold out, but I would hope that, and I think, and I'll follow up, that they do.
They do,
give a
James.
list. Okay.
They do. When I've called out there and I've specifically done it, when
Okay.
you guys your price point's at $369,
Right.
and I will say, can you refer to other
Oh, good to
references?
know.
And they actually referenced. They said that Chamber of Commerce should have it on their website, and there should be additional. Just Google hotels in Durant. Well, when you Google that, the first thing that comes up is our Discover Durant, and it has
That's a
all
big
the hotels and their numbers listed on that as well.
Okay.
So, but they do, and they're really good about that. And it's amazing to me, and I know what y'all get, but it's amazing to me when I was sitting there at that concert the other night. 7 minutes it took us to drive from the house to the venue. We sit there and we're watching a world-class concert. We need to be selling that, people. We don't need to be saying they're not giving us taxes. We need to be selling the opportunity that these people can coattail onto and have an experience.
On our website, when they hit those events on that Discover Durant, I'm not seeing any of their concerts on the event center. I'm talking about on the website that says events.
Go into events. We have a link, and you click on that link, and it takes you to their website, which has their concerts.
So we don't put.
Would you like me to send them
When
to
it
you,
says
Jim?
events, we don't, no, what I'm
Because I
saying
discuss
is-
with my revenue manager every Wednesday, and I'll be sure to send your list.
Well, when it has events, buys in on our events, we don't, and they can still click over, but I mean, it'll show right there on our events too that's coming up. I'm not seeing a whole bunch of events right now. We don't have much, I don't think.
Yeah, almost every weekend.
Have you been on the?
There's a concert almost every weekend unless we have poker tournaments.
Yeah,
Which
it's
the
a
poker
big-
lasts a month usually, but other than that, there's a concert every weekend unless it's poker.
Yep.
One of that, and boy, I don't want to get in trouble from but I know how one time we couldn't do the collateral out there at the hotel. We don't, but I don't know, Jim, if it's ever a possibility if I ever talked to them about, I say them, but it would be Jeff and them or whoever, but when you go to the movies, out there, and I know Chief Giz has talked about Welcome to Choctaw Nation, but to me, because it's for us to get that extended stay as well, but to me, if you can only gamble for so long, and then you get bored or you need a break, there's a lot of stuff to do out there, but there's a lot of stuff to do in Durant too, but if possibility might be look into it, I was just thinking about that, but when you're there at a movie, if you had something on the movie, visit downtown Durant or something. I don't know.
We can do
if
that.
that's even
Actually,
talked
we
about.
contract with before the movie who does all their pre-advertising for them. The Chambers is on there. Jeremy and I have actually talked about that quite a bit, and we wanted to wait until we got the video ready to go so that we had seasonal and could change those in and out. But definitely, we that is something we want to approach you guys
But to
with.
me, even having the city manager or President Newsom, I mean, just so many.
I think it would
you could
be
have somebody
great.
each quarter,
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
downtown Durant and stuff, But
Yeah.
anyway, so.
I think that, and it's been effective for us. It's amazing to me how many people will say, "Oh yeah, we saw the Chamber on before the movie." And
Well, I know if something was going on and I was bored, if I was at any casino anywhere, and I'm at the movies at the theater there, and there's something going on, like, you know what, I want to take the kids down there to
Yeah.
get a break or give them something to do, then I'll gamble that night or whatever.
Yeah, well, it's just cool too to have like a seasonal message from somebody in the community inviting them to come and do something
Yeah.
like I did.
That's it.
Yeah.
And we have a possibility of billboard that links directly to 9th Street, and we're going to bring those, the cost and everything,
that's awesome.
next month. So hopefully
That's
we'll
one
have
from the
everything,
south.
yes.
And not this one. Or is it one
No,
first?
this is a new one. This is a
Just
new
one more
one.
thing. I started with Greg, and, I knew him from Hugo, we graduated, and even my wife said that about, she couldn't go in there because they were smoking.
Yeah.
And he said in the future they were gonna do it, and now this chief has finished that. And I don't know if it's good for y'all to market that, but there's a lot of people that will gamble that does not smoke. But I thank y'all for it, because I go in there and take my grandkids now, and I mean, y'all got that nice on that side.
Well,
Got smokers on one side, but I'm telling you, it's nice to go in there and not.
we track it, and one thing that I wish would happen in the future, I wish all the tribes in Oklahoma could come together at all casinos and ban smoking inside the casino, but it would have to happen at every location, so anyway. But it's a start anyway, so.
I know, I'll go out there when my grandkids come in, I'll go out there, and it's easy to get to, going up to the second floor and just walking over.
Well, yeah, because you stay on the other end without no smoking.
But I appreciate it, I know it started with Greg, but he didn't get through, this chief did that. And I
Yep,
appreciate
yep,
it for him.
yep. I'll let him know.
Oh, to adjourn. We got to vote on to adjourn.
We had a motion.
We have a
Motion. I think somebody did a motion.
We've
Jeff made a motion.
Okay.
Jeff made a motion.
Yeah.
Okay, trustee Anthony, yes. Trustee Reed? Yes. Trustee Shattuck? Oh, trustee Thorpe?
Yes.
Chairman Shear?
Yes.
Who did the second, just for video? You did the second, okay. Okay. I know. I'll see you in the morning. Okay. Copy that.